Are you ready to have your mind blown? We are going to share an absolutely shocking median home price number for one Southern California county. 5 of 6 have now exceeded previous median home price peaks, and Aprils have been interesting. We're going to show you why in the Southern California Housing Market Report. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We've been helping the smartest buyers and sellers make the best data-driven decisions in this crazy market. So if you're ready to dive into the single family and multifamily numbers for Orange County, LA, Riverside, San Diego, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties, hit that like button. And let's get started. Diving into the data, starting with Orange County single family data, looking at April's. And April is an interesting month. We're going all the way back to 2018. 2018, 2019, normal, nothing crazy, those Aprils. 2020 was the first full month of data during COVID, and you can see crazy numbers, everything way down. 2021, during the days of crazy low interest rates. 2022 is when we had the peak in most of Southern California markets in April for the median home price. Then 2023, the lowest time other than 2020. 2024, things are up. So we're up slightly for new listings, pending sales, closed escrows, and we can see in Orange County about the most normal we're going to see today. There's some crazy things we're going to show you, but you can see the gap between new listings and number of properties under contract. That is about the same as we had last year. 2022 is wider. More normal years, it's a very big gap between new listings and pending sales. Lots more choice out there for buyers. Not much choice out there for buyers right now, but an increase in new listings. Moving into LA, so here's where things get interesting. Same pattern as we see in the general data in April's. No surprises there, but look at the uptick in the number of new listings as compared to the increase in the number of properties going under contract. So we can see that gap widening, and that 6,000 plus number of new listings, we're starting to get closer. We're still off, but starting to get closer to more normal levels of inventory for new listings, but the pending sales are down, up year over year, but down as compared to more normal years. Riverside, another similar trend where we're seeing that increase in inventory. Now the gap between pending sales and the number of new listings isn't as wide as it was in 2022, but we're seeing an increase in inventory, and that's going to have an effect on the market. Moving into San Bernardino, same thing, increase in new listings. We are actually down slightly for number of properties going under contract. It is flat, but we see the increase in new listings. Ventura, poor Ventura, down year over year for number of properties going under contract, up for new inventory. And then San Diego, a similar trend. We see an increase in inventory, and that gap has widened between the number of properties going under contract and the number of new listings. Not crazy, nowhere near where it was during typical years, but a definite shift in the market for inventory. More inventory coming, and demand is out there and up slightly for most of Southern California, but not a dramatic rally in demand. And that's because interest rates are still high. You wanted the multifamily data for Southern California. I asked you last video and you said, yes, please include it. So here it is. We put it back in, and we can see for Orange County that the number of new listings is up and demand is relatively flat. Now, back in 2021, when we had record low interest rates, it was easy for a property to pencil. So there were people selling, there were people buying, those numbers match. We're back at the same number of new listings approximately as back then, but we see the demand is about half of that. And it makes sense. It's tougher for a property to pencil. We see a similar trend where inventory is up for LA multifamily, and we have a slight increase year over year in the number of properties going under contract, but still a historically low number other than 2020, which is record low because of COVID. Moving into Riverside, it's a higher cap rate environment, typically for investors. They get a slightly better return. We can see inventory up slightly, and we can see that demand is up slightly. We're not seeing a strong rally in the number of properties going under contract, although it is up year over year in San Bernardino for both. that gap is one of the wider gaps we have between new listings and pending sales. Ventura, always all over the place, is relatively consistent this time of year for number of new listings, except for 2019 where they went through the roof. And then San Diego, we're down slightly year over year for the number of new listings, and that's at a record low, lower than even 2020, and demand is up year over year slightly. So the numbers still far apart, but getting closer. And all real estate's local. We can see the difference amongst the counties for multifamily. Are you thinking about selling your home? Well, we are, and we have more content coming. If you're thinking the same thing, make sure you reach out. We have a link below. It's time for the mind-blowing median home price numbers. So first, let's see how they compare to their previous peak. So remember what we said in the beginning of the video, around April of 2022, that's when we had a median home price peak for most of Southern California, and then prices dropped. And what was going on then is interest rates had started to go up. So people were jumping in and driving up prices at that point in time. And then interest rates kept going. And that's what ultimately led to the drop in the median home price. But look where we are now. So all of these three, Orange County, LA, Riverside, are up year over year. Of course, this is the time of year where we're up year over year. But then we're all up or matching our previous peak. So you can see whether we've met or exceeded the peak for 2022. So 1,094,000 was a previous peak. We're at 1.2 for OC. LA is even 900 and 900. And Riverside in May hit their peak, and you can see 609 versus 619, 912. So we have exceeded or matched that previous home price peak. And then our year over year numbers, holy smokes, 22.4% for OC year over year. Completely shocking and unsustainable. LA 8.4, Riverside 7.1% year over year. Moving into our other three, and we can see up for San Bernardino and San Diego. Ventura dropped, and we've seen Ventura demand slip, and that's leading to a drop in median home price as well. So comparing the peak, 520 was the previous peak for San Bernardino. It's now 530, so they are up. Ventura 875 versus 856. They are the lone county that is not yet back, beating this previous April high. And then San Diego is up as well. So every county except for Ventura exceeding the previous peak we had in April or May of 2022. And then as far as prices year over year, San Bernardino 8.4. Ventura is up year over year despite seeing month over month drop, and despite not being back at its peak, it's up 7%. San Diego 10.9% year over year. Altos Research Reports, you know I love these, and if you're still watching, you love the data too. So what I want to point out here, we're looking at the national numbers. We can see that inventory is up. It hasn't been this high since the levels we had in May of 2020. So this is a 4-year high now for inventory that we're starting to see. Here we are at the statewide level. Inventory up, hasn't been this high since May of 2020. And we're going to be having Mike Simonson, the CEO and creator of Altos Research Reports. We're going to be doing live with him. And I'm always telling you, subscribe to these things. They'll be delivered to your email inbox, and you'll be subscribed to our email newsletter. Orange County, why do you always have to be so different? Your inventory is just about the same as it was every year at this time, except for May of 2020. So inventory, while it's gone up and down, is about almost exactly where it was at this point in time every year, going all the way back to May of 2020. Absolutely crazy, and the complete outlier in Southern California. Los Angeles, slightly higher this year than the years past. Not crazy high, pretty close to Orange County. Riverside is up, not crazy up, but definitely much higher than where it's been in years past, particularly 2021. San Bernardino is up. Haven't seen it this level since 2020. Ventura's up a little bit, not crazy. San Diego's up slightly as well, pretty flat. Not like OC, but pretty flat. Again, inventory starting to tick up. You saw it in the other numbers with the new listings, so we can expect to see inventory continue to go up, at least here in the next few months. Let us know your predictions in the comments below. Let us know in the comments below if your mind was blown or whatever the opposite of having your mind blown is. The next thing you need to know is in this video right here. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we can't wait to hear from you.